Humans are the product of an increase in communicative efficiency. Many animals communicate, but so much information leaks away that information does not accumulate on scales of generations. It accumulates at the level of the person, maybe at the level of a family, but it doesn't accumulate for many generations. Now, we've crossed what may be quite a small threshold, but it took us to a level of efficiency, like a game of telephone, in which the message actually survived many transfers. Now, everything changes if you have an organism in which information can accumulate, because at least some of that information will be ecologically significant. It means this organism will be able to slowly find new ways of extracting resources and energy from its environment. That makes it an utterly new type of organism on the planet. The first organism in 4 billion years in which information accumulates. Once you have such an organism, you can guarantee that eventually that organism is going to, that species, I should say, is going to become more and more ecologically powerful, and eventually it will have an Anthropocene.
We have emerged as far as we can tell, albeit with some of the caveats that you brought up, the only truly conscious being in the universe, as far as we know now. So we're certainly the only conscious thing on this planet, and presumably the origins of religion are indeed trying to find man's place in the universe, relate us not only to how everything works around us, but where in fact we came from and how we got here, and our relationship not only to our past in terms of what we see on the planet, but what we see when we look at the stars. So it's very simplistic, but it is what's part of what has driven us and continues to drive many of us.
Unless you believe in divine intervention, these patterns of growth and recombination, which mark biological evolution, must mark human and cultural evolution as well. Nothing comes from nothing. You know, where else could our lives, our technology have come from but by the repetition of patterns? Human language, the forms it takes, the tropes it employs, and the qualities and patterns of human aesthetic forms must all have their origins in natural forms and patterns. So I want to say that the inventions of science, mathematics, technique, and poiesis must all have their counterparts and origins in nature, although doubtless our forms are more complex. And of course, one thing to remember, and it's something that Francois Jacob talks about, is that nature's purposefulness is not that of an engineer or a mathematician, but that of a tinker. And I think that we're all familiar with that. You know, I mean, I could talk about that more, but I think we're all aware of that kind of that impulse to, you know, when you need to sort of do something, to think, oh, that would work. And clearly, that's nature working in us.